Hey everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to explain to you how to use PHPMailer in your PHP project. Now PHPMailer is a simple class that you can install into your PHP project and it will allow you to send emails very quickly. Now you could use PHPMailer or you can just code it yourself. In my eyes, I don't think it's really good to reinvent the wheel because it could take you 2 to 3 hours and a lot of headache to get a script, to make your own script to send an email through PHP, even though it can be done. And PHPMailer is just a fantastic script. I'm going to run you through how to do it now. So right now I have a project set up on my local machine using XAMPP. So you can go to XAMPP, just Google XAMPP on, just Google XAMPP and download it, and it will give you Apache, it will give you PHP 7, and it will give you MySQL, and you can basically run your own projects. I'm sure you all know this, and if you don't, then definitely download it. Now, I've set up a blank project at tutorials.dev/PHPMailer. That's just a local project, and I have a blank PHP file in there right now, and that's all I have. Now, if we go to the to GitHub to our PHPMailer class, what we want to do is install it. So if we scroll down here, you'll notice that we have a simple way to install it, which is using a program called Composer. Now Composer basically just helps you download classes very quickly. It puts it in a neat folder, and all you have to do is include one PHP file, and then it will include all the classes that you've downloaded. So I won't explain Composer too much. There are plenty of tutorials for that online, I'm sure. But let's download it now using Composer. So what I'm going to do is go into Command Prompt. I'm using Windows 10, and I'm just going to go back to my main directory, go to my XAMPP folder, go to my htdocs folder, and go to my tutorials folder, and go to PHPMailer folder. So as you can see, that is the same folder, XAMPP, htdocs, tutorials, PHPMailer, and I'm just going to run a Composer, the Composer command, which is, Composer require PHPMailer for PHPMailer. What that's going to do is it's going to download the PHPMailer class and install it into our project, and you'll see how easy it is to run it once this goes through its paces. Now that Composer has done its thing, if we get out of that and go into our folder, you'll notice that we have our original index.php file, and then we have a few other files here, and PHPMailer is located inside this vendor folder now. And as you can see, there's a PHPMailer folder and there's an autoload folder, and that's all we need to load in order to use any class that we download, which right now we only have PHPMailer in there. So if we go into our project, actually what we'll do is we'll go onto this GitHub page, and you'll notice that there's a simple example here. So I'm just going to copy this simple example and paste it into our project. Okay, now that it's pasted into our project, we just have to tweak these settings and then we can just test it out. So SMTP debug is basically going to spit out the technical data as to what happens when the email is being sent. So you can obviously switch that off, which I believe is by just getting rid of it completely, or you can set it to 1, which will I'm going to keep it there just so we can see what happens. Now, if we're going to be using SMTP, we need to have that selected. If you're not going to use SMTP and you're just going to use the built-in PHP send mail on your server, then you can just remove that. And then you need to type in your SMTP service. So I'm using SendGrid, smtp.sendgrid.net, and my username and my password. My bad. All right, I've just generated a password using this website and it's not really helping. Okay, there we go. I've typed in the password. Now, SendGrid uses TLS as opposed to SSL, and the port is 587, so that's all. I've set up my SMTP already. Now, I'm going to set up a from address. So I'm just going to set the from address as my address, which is info@mrdigital.com.au, and I'll put my name, Mr. Digital, or I'll put my real name, Sean. And then what we want to do is we want to add a recipient. So this was the sender, and this is the recipient, and I'm going to send it to myself, sean@mrdigital.com.au. Now this gives you the opportunity to put the name of the person who's going to receive the email, but there's probably no use for that, so I'm just going to remove that. And it also gives you the opportunity to add a second person or a third person. You can just basically copy this and do as many emails as you want, but I'm just going to remove that. You can add a reply to email address and a name as well, but I'm going to remove that. And you can add CC and BCC as well, but I'll remove that as well for just to make this as simple as possible. Now the beauty of this class is that you can actually have attachments as well. So let's just say if you have another class which is creating a PDF file, you can actually attach the PDF file into this class and then send it off with the email, which is really, really cool. I might do that in another tutorial, but I'll remove that. And let's just set a subject. So let's just say this is a test email. And then underneath there, we have a body and alternative body. Now the body will be the HTML body. So if you have HTML set to true here, then the main email will be sent in HTML, but then for people who can't receive the email with an HTML editor, it will actually come in plain text. Now, as you can see, there are two areas for you to type HTML and one for plain text. Well, what I'm going to do is create one piece of text in HTML and then strip the tags for the plain text. So let's just create a variable called body, and we will put some HTML in there. So hello, this is my first email with PHPMailer. Okay, and instead of having information typed in here, we just need to attribute it to the body variable. And then with the alternative body or the plain text area, we just do strip tags body. So now that's going to send the same information, one with HTML and one without HTML. And that's it. So let's save that, and we will go to our web browser, to our project. I'll just find the project. And you'll notice that nothing will come, it's completely blank, but if we refresh it, you'll notice that it's doing something in the background. And we've already got our debug back, and basically that has been sent. So let's check our email now. As you can see, the email has been received on my end in Google Apps, and it's from my info at Mr. Digital account. It's sent to Sean at Mr. Digital, and also it has the HTML, the bolded hello, and that's it. So that's how you send a really simple email using PHPMailer. I will be creating a new tutorial as well, which will show you maybe how to create an online form that can be filled out and then sent via PHPMailer. And I may also do a tutorial to show you how to do attachments, maybe using another class like MPDF, which will create the PDF and then it will send it via email. I hope this helps. Thank you.